right, today we are moving on to 9.2. And we are going to be graphing quadratics, which means we're making parabolas, in standard form. Which means if a quadratic is in standard form, it is going to be in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, now, when it's in this form, it is going to move up, down, right, left. It could move anywhere, so we can't just use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 to graph it. We have to do another method. So, step number 1, we are going to find the axis of symmetry. To find the axis of symmetry, it is x equals -b over 2a. Step number 2, to find the vertex. Plug x value that you just got from the axis of symmetry into equation. Step number 3, we are going to be picking or choose 2 points to the right or left of the vertex. Step number 4, reflect points. And then step number 5, connect your dots. This is the whole basis of today is right here. But we're going to break it down a little bit more. We're going to start with just step 1 and 2 to work with for a while. All right. So example number 1. I want you to find the equation for the axis of symmetry and the vertex. All right, so let's say I have y equals -2x squared plus 4x minus 1. First of all, remember that this is ax squared plus bx plus c. To find the axis of symmetry, we do x equals -b over 2a. So in this case, we have negative. Our b value is 4 over 2 times our a value, which is -2. So I have -4 over 2 times -2 is -4. -4 divided by -4 is 1. So my axis of symmetry is at x equals 1. Is there any questions how we just found that?
Where did -2 come from? That's what I'm saying.
It's the a value right here. See, a is -2.
Yeah, but I got the middle one, -2.
So this is our equation, negative b over 2a. I plugged in, for b, I plugged in 4. So I have a negative b. And then for a, I plugged in negative 2. And then we just simplified it. All right, now, to find the vertex, your vertex, first of all, the first point in your vertex is your x value, which is 1. Whatever your axis symmetry is, that's your first point of your vertex. Now, to find the y value, we're going to plug 1 into our equation. So we have y equals negative 2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 minus 1. So here, 1 squared is 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 4 times 1 is 4. So negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Minus 1 is 1. So we have a vertex at 1, 1. We haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, here we go. Example number 2. We're going to do the same thing. Example number 2. And again, this is all you're going to have to do for 8 through 14. Find the equation for the axis of symmetry. And find the vertex. All right, let's go with an equation. How about y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. So again, right above that, remember this is in standard form. So this is ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, so when we do our axis of symmetry, x equals negative b over 2a. So we have negative b. b is negative 8 over 2. What is my a value? 2. Good. 2. What am I going to do with my 2 negatives on the top? Sandwich them, times them, so I get positive 8 over 2 times 2, which is 4. So we get 2. I have an axis of symmetry at x equals 2. Now my vertex. Remember, in my vertex, my x value is 2. I have to find the y value. What do I do to find the y value? Plug it in. Good job. So we're going to go up here and plug it in for x. So I have y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 3. So this is 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8 minus 16, which is negative 8, plus 3, negative 5. So my vertex is at 2, negative 5. So tell me where your questions are. We're doing okay? We're doing all right? Okay. All right, then here we go with example number 3. All right, I want you to grab the big graph and stick that in for example number 3. We're doing 20 through 24. Well, actually, probably you can go 16 through 24, but we are graphing. And we're going to start off by graphing y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. So to graph, the very first step, we find the axis of symmetry. So again, that's what we were doing. So this is my A, my B, and my C. So my axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So I have negative b, which is 4, over 2 times, what's my a value up there? 1, good. So I get negative 4 over 2, or x equals negative 2. So on your graph, at negative 2, we are going to put a dash line, a vertical dash line, which is your axis of symmetry. All right, everybody good so far? Step 2 says we find the vertex. So now we take this negative 2 and we plug it into our equation. So we have y equals negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. So this is 4 minus 8 is negative 4, minus 5 is negative 9. So I have a vertex at negative 2, negative 9. So we're going to plot the vertex. So at negative 2, we're going to go down 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put a dot. That is my vertex. Step 3 said to choose 2 points to either the right or the left to plug in. The 2 points I'm going to choose and make a little table over here. I'm going to choose the direction of the y-axis. So I'm going to choose negative 1, and I'm going to choose 0. So I'm going to plug negative 1 into this equation. So I have negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 minus 5. So that's 1 minus 4, which is 3, or negative 3, minus 5 is negative 8. So at negative 1, I go down to negative 8 and put a dot. The second point I'm going to plug in is 0. So I have 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 5. So what do I get on 0? Minus 5. Good. So on my y-axis, I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a dot. Now step 4 says to reflect them. So this dot is just 1 away on the right, so it should be 1 away on the left. This dot is 2 on the right, so it's going to be 2 on the left. And now we connect them. It takes a while. It's not that it's hard, you're right. It just takes a little while. Kaden, you okay? You doing good? Want to say hi to Dylan?
Hi, Dylan.
There you go. All right, let's do example number 4. Let's do another one. All right, so go ahead and put one more, the big sticky in there. All right, it's going to be example number 4. Again, we're going to graph. And this time, let's graph y equals, bless you, negative 2x squared minus 10x. All right, so step number 1 is to find our axis of symmetry. So that's x equals negative b over 2a. All right, now in my equation, my first term is my a. The coefficient on x is my b. And my c in this case is 0. There isn't a c, right? All right, so I have negative b, or negative 10, over 2 times negative 2. So that gives me 10 over negative 4. Or x equals what? Yes, negative 2.5. So over here, I'm going to do my axis of symmetry. Go over here, negative 2.5. So right about in here. So I'm going to go a dotted line down the middle of my boxes at negative 2.5. Step 2 is to find the vertex. So what am I plugging in to figure out what the vertex is? Negative 2.5. So you're plugging it in here. So I have y equals negative 2 times negative 2.5 squared minus 10 times negative 2.5. Kaylee, tell me what you got. 12.5. Good. So our vertex is going to be at the point negative 2.5, which is right on your axis of symmetry, and positive 12.5, which is a little off our graph, I think. So shall we count by twos? Count by twos? All right. So we're going to go up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and a half, right about there. I'm going to put a little, make sure we don't forget that we counted by twos. All right. So now I need to pick 2 points, either the right or the left, to plug into a table. Again, I like to go the direction where the y-axis is, because those numbers are smaller to plug in, right? So what do you guys want to plug in? We're going to plug in negative 1 and 0. We're going to plug in negative 2 and negative 1. What do you want to do? Negative 1 and 0. I agree, because 0 is like super, super easy. If I plug in negative 1, we're going to start there. I have negative 2 times negative 1 squared, which is negative 2, minus 10 times negative 1, which is plus 10. So negative 2 plus 10 is 8. So at negative 1, I'm going up to 8 and putting a dot. Then I plug in 0. So I have negative 2 times 0 squared minus 10 times 0. And I get 0. So I'm at the origin, 0, 0. Now what is the next step? Step 4 is to do what? Reflect them. So this one is 1.5 boxes away. So I go 1.5 boxes to this side. This one is 2.5 boxes away, so I go 2.5 boxes to this side. They reflect together, and then we connect our dots. Questions, questions, questions. All right. No questions. You guys sure you don't have any questions? Okay. Let's go to, what do I want to talk about? You guys think you don't need to graph another one? Really? Everybody's good? You guys talk to me.
Yeah. I'm still confused how you got 12.5, because when I do it, I keep getting 37.5.
Let me see how you plugged it in your calculator.
Well, I just did
That should be a negative 2.5 right there. There we go. Good deal. Okay. So everybody's good with the graphing part. Last thing I want to talk about then is yesterday we had two problems where you were finding were either the orange or what was the other one that landed on the ground, right? So they were both H equations. I want to talk about how to set those up. So if you guys are good with graphing, we won't do any more graphing if you think you can handle it or you don't have any questions on it. Let's talk about the last thing. So you have a couple word problems. When we are talking about, in our word problems today, let's do it that way. Word. All right. So when we set them up, we're going to have H equals. Your first term is always negative 16, T squared. That negative 16 represents gravity. The next term, so we have plus, this next term that goes right here with the T, the B value, this is your velocity. So if I told you that Caden was hitting the ball at 62 miles per hour, a 62 would go right there, okay? The last spot, or the C spot, is the height it starts at. So yesterday with our orange, it started at a height of 40 feet, so it was plus 40 at the end, okay? So today you have one that's got an equation that says that there's a geyser at Yellowstone National Park that erupts every 6.25 hours. When the geyser erupts, the water has an initial upward velocity of 69 feet per second. Where does 69 feet per second go? Yes, with the plus T. All right? And then it says, what is the maximum height of the geyser? So there is no height there, right, because it starts on the ground. So it would be plus 0 at the end. And if I want to know what the maximum height is, let's think about this, right? So we just said that this is going to be 69 right here and a 0. First of all, this is a parabola that opens which way? Up or down? Opens down, right? So this is the geyser. It's going up and coming down. Where on this parabola is the maximum height? Yes, it's the vertex, isn't it? And it's the y value of the vertex. So you're going to use this equation and find your vertex. Okay? All right. So you're going to do x equals negative b over 2a. Find your x value and then plug it back in to figure out how high it goes. All right? Okay. There's no questions, and that's it for today. You guys still have about 8 minutes to get started in case you have any questions. There's graph paper over here, which will make your life a little bit easier. Yeah, I'll come pick those up from you.
It's going to be super hard.
No, it's not. You only have actual, 4 to graph, and that's it.